Hello, hi. This is Anthony Bedone for a series called SQL Server in 10 Minutes, SQL ITM. Today I'll talk about Azure Sharding, and let's get started right away. Hit the timer for 10 minutes, and let's go. We have it broken down into two categories: fundamentals and architecture. Of course, let's get into the fundamentals first, and we'll bring him up and just enlarge him quite large here. Okay, I need you to download these documents and study them. But quickly, we'll talk about tenants. There are single and multi-tenants, which the tenants can have their own exclusive database or they share a database. Simple as that. Tenant A has tenant A database, tenant B, B database, tenant C, C database. Individual databases for the tenant. There can be multi-tenant databases where the tenants will share a database. As you can see here, A, B, and C share a database which houses A, B, and C. Okay. Also, we have a variation of that, the multi-tenant sharded database. Tenant A, B, and C have a sharded database, meaning we divided the database up into various databases. So shard 1, which is a database, houses information for tenant A and B, and shard 2 houses for tenant C. To have the whole process work, one of the elements, of course, is a shard map. So a general mapping concept, we have consumers, tenant consumers, who then speak to a mapper, which is a level of indirection, and that level of indirection then points that request to the deployment of the particular database where it lies. Okay. A more specific example in Azure is this one here, where there's a mapping specific concepts where the shard map manager is spoken to. It then takes the request and decides which range of keys to go to, which pertain to which shard. Shard 1, shard 2, shard 3. There's a range of keys, and this is the mapping of the shard keys. I want you to download this. Look at the things in yellow. Look at the shard mapper, the terminology, global mappings, shards, which are databases, shard set of databases, sharding key, shardlets. I just study this stuff and get it in your vocabulary. Also, we have to talk about scaling. You heard about horizontal scaling and vertical scaling. As you can see here, horizontal scaling, here's vertical scaling. Horizontal is the act of scaling out or in a collection of shards by adding or removing shards, which are databases. So we have multiple databases in the shard. And vertical scaling is basically the act of scaling up or down. You increase the compute of a particular database to scale, which is limited in design. I want you to then download this and look at the sharding benefits. Improve scalability, improve performance, improve availability, improve security, provide operational flexibility, match the data source to a pattern of use. You can have different databases for the particular pattern of uses. Study that, download it, understand it, get it in your head as far as the terminology. We'll move on to the next screen. Next screen has to do with the architecture. This is a very important screen here that I found on the web from Microsoft. Do study these examples, and things will start to make sense. Right at the front, we're going to look at the sharding architecture, broken down into a number of categories. So we have right here, this design talks about everything you need to know. And number one, a set of SQL databases is hosted on Azure using a sharding architecture. This whole thing is the sharding architecture. Okay. The Elastic Database Client Library is used to manage a shard set. Number two, there's a whole client library that you have to utilize as far as development and design, which will then control the whole shard set, how to control various things. Like you see here, client app or service built with a client library. He's number two. Okay. Number three is a subset of databases is put into Elastic Pool. As you can see here, we have a data tier. That's the data tier. We have databases, which we are divided into. One group is into the Elastic Pool. Other databases are isolated individual databases, but they're in the data tier, which is a very interesting design for the data tier. Number five is the split merge. So the split merge basically is a way of controlling your shards, how to arrange them, how to divide them into shards, how to remerge them into one shard. That's your split merge. Elastic Database Query, how do you query all those databases? You could have hundreds of thousands of databases all over the place in different subscriptions and different servers. This is a process to query those databases. Elastic transactions. How do you allows you to run transactions that span multiple databases? How do you make modifications to databases across various servers within this whole framework? Well, using the elastic transactions. Let's get a little further into it, and then I want you to download and study these guys. Okay, so we'll talk about quickly the elastic pools that you did. The database client library, which is again is a facility to manage this whole process. And then there's Elastic Database Jobs. How do you manage running jobs across all these servers and databases? You use Elastic Database Jobs. There's a controller where the source code sits, and then it executes these things on various destinations, on various servers, logical servers, on the various databases out there. Again, Elastic Database Jobs. Split and merge tool we talked about quickly. You want to merge various shards into one shard. You want to take one shard and divide it up. Is a facility split merge tool. Elastic Database Queries is another facility for you to be able to then query all these databases across all the different shards and servers and come back with a unified result set. You can use Power BI. You can use SQL Server Management Studio. You can use Excel to talk to all these databases, come back with a unified result set. Elastic transactions. This is a way of having a transaction going across all these servers and all these databases to come back in a unified atomic result set. So the Elastic Database transactions enable applications to make atomic changes to data stored in several databases across the SQL Server across the Azure databases and even the managed instance databases. So those are the facilities that use that. So I really quickly went over these things, but I want you to download the two screens, okay? Get the terminology into your mindset and go further. If you need to learn more about it, look up Split Merge Tool. Need to learn more about the Elastic Database Jobs? Look them up. Elastic Pools? Look them up. Elastic Database Client? Look that up. But these are the facilities that are out there, and these are things for you to study and download. Okay, so I hope that was informative. But what I did do, I went out, read many documents, put the information that you need to study further, and don't waste your time looking for it. It's right here as far as the nomenclature. Take that and study it further. Okay. Thank you. I have 2 minutes left, but thank you for that. And hope you enjoyed this, and we'll do another one quite soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.